Good evening, Roboteers. This is Jason Helton with ToplessRobot.com, giving you your first look at a video review of the Roddenberry Company Mark 9 Science Tricorder. Now, this prop replica is based off of the Mark 9 Science Tricorder that was featured in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and quite a few of the Star Trek films. It retails for a whopping $499, or roughly 50,000 Quatlus. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, right off the bat, you'll see that it comes in a very nice collector's box, adorned with the signature of the great bird of the galaxy himself. We have the certificate of authenticity, the very cool holster, and then the tricorder itself on a very nice display stand. So, while all that stuff is cool, the real star of the show is the tricorder, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. At first glance, you can take a look. It looks exactly like what you would expect to see in any prop replica. It is based on the actual molds of the hero prop from Deep Space Nine and Voyager. In fact, if you were to watch a couple episodes of Voyager, I was able to see this exact same tricorder in use, albeit that version was probably plastic, but it was exact all the way down to the animations. So it's definitely a authentic prop and made to mimic the original as best as it possibly can. Now, in researching this, a static version of this prop in plastic that does nothing was on eBay for about $3,000. Researching further, the authentic hero prop itself, that would include the lights, no sound effects of course, would go at auction between $5,000 and $10,000. So, while $499 is a bit on the expensive side, it is certainly more affordable than going out and trying to get the initial prop, unless you happen to have a third kidney to sell. So, let's go ahead and take a quick look. Now, as cool as this looks, it doesn't really show its badassness until you see its light show. So let's go ahead and close her up for a second here. You'll hear the little closing sound. Now, this tricorder has been released twice before, once by Master Replicas, once by EFX, and this is essentially the exact same device, although Brent Baudet from Roddenberry has told me that there have been improvements to this in the way of durability and electronics so that it should last longer and hold up a little bit better. It is made out of zinc alloy, and so it is very heavy in comparison to what you would initially think. This is definitely not a toy. It weighs about as much as a small cat, and I would not necessarily want to carry this around with me on as part of a costume for fear that it would fall and shatter and make me cry in front of lots of adults. So let's go ahead and open this guy up and let you hear the magic. So as you can see, we've got an impressive light and sound show. We've got the actual light sequences follow exactly what I saw in a couple episodes of Voyager. So this is about as authentic as it gets. However, people who are looking to buy a very expensive toy, this is not the object for you. This is pretty much a static prop in that everything that's out here, all these indicators and such, are not buttons. They are just basically overlays. So if you are looking for a toy, it may be best to go out and get yourself one of the old Playmates tricorders from the 80s, and use one of the modification kits that are out there. Someone on eBay was selling a very modified version of this with LED screens and all kinds of funkiness, and they wanted about $3,000 for it. So definitely, if you want a more closer to quote-unquote working tricorder, you will definitely be spending a lot more money than the $500 that Roddenberry is asking for this. The sequence times out after about 2 minutes, so if you want to display it with the lid open, you certainly can. The lid is magnetized, so if we go ahead and close it up, it'll snap into place. Great for safety, bad if you were hoping to play Mr. Tricorder. But regardless, it is a very nice quality prop. Seems very solid, very pretty to work with. I did notice that initially when inserting batteries, it took about 3 or 4 tries to get the tricorder to work. It may be because this was a demo unit, or it may have just taken a little bit of finesse to get the batteries in the exact same place that they wanted to be in order to get to work for me. But it has functioned perfectly fine since that initial snafu. So in addition to the case and the certificate of authenticity, which, by the way, this is not a limited edition run, so you will not see any numbering, anything that denotes that this is a limited edition. So, that being said, if you were hoping to pay for your children's college by selling this in 20 years, it is probably not going to work. Additionally, you have the holster, which doesn't look like much on the outside, but is exactly like the design from the TV series. The only difference is it has on the back a set of Alice clips, military-grade Alice clips. So hooking this to a belt, military webbing, anything like that, for your costumes and such would be very easy and sturdy. It should hold on there quite well. Placing the tricorder in the holster, it is a bit of a tight squeeze, but it is felt lined, so it will definitely protect your tricorder from any kind of scraping and scratching that you'd be worried about in putting it into a holster. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out. You'll also see that out of the 3 versions of this tricorder, this definitely has the most impressive stand. The Master Replicas and EFX versions had very basic stands. This one is actually very nice. You've got the Federation logo, or rather the Warp Design logo with the Gene Roddenberry signature on the center of it. I would say this. I would have preferred they add some kind of power source that this could sit on so that I could have the light show going all the time. I think this would be incredible to have sitting on my desk at the office with a light show going constantly. No sound, of course, but obviously that's not possible. This runs off of a trio of AAA batteries, and obviously it times out after 2 minutes anyway, so it wouldn't be too much of a good light show after a while. So, give you a closer look at the back. It is designed exactly like the prop from the series. If you look at pictures of the individual hero props, you'll see the same backing, same screws, everything. It is basically as close as you can possibly get to the actual film prop. So, give you one more look at it from the inside. Regardless, it is a very impressive prop. However, at $495 or $99, it is far more expensive than what was the EFX version when that first came out. I believe back in 2009, which initially retailed for $250. That being said, at the $500 price point, many collectors are going to be outpriced for this, including myself. It's a beautiful prop. I have no complaints about it. However, if the choice is paying the rent or buying a prop tricorder, I'm going to have to choose to pay the rent. Otherwise, it is a absolutely beautiful prop, and if you happen to have, spare $500 sitting around, it is certainly worth your hard-earned cash, especially for that hardcore Star Trek collector out there. And with that is your look at the Tricorder Mark IX by Roddenberry Entertainment. It comes highly recommended if you happen to have a spare $500. You can follow me on Twitter at Razgriz, Razgriz 1138, and certainly be sure to read the rest of my article about prop replicas and the Mark IX tricorder, and check out more of my stuff on toplessrobot.com. Until then, have a great night.